Halloween? Did somebody say Halloween? Welcome back, you silly sons of bitches. It's Soundfest 2025, and this is the third official year I've done this in this format. And I just want to thank everybody who's been following me on the TikToks and the Instagrams, the Facebooks, here on the YouTube. Thank you for following me. Thank you for bringing me into your haunted hearts. And all of us underground horror nerds, you know, we love it all. All the George A. Romero movies. We love all the slasher films. We like all that shit, like the B movies that make no sense. There's a wide variety of stuff in the horror world, and all month long, we're going to go over it every day here. 31 Days of Horror, starring me, PJ Bozak, sexiest juggalo alive. And along the way, I will have some special guests. I ain't going to tell you who. I'm going to make it a surprise because it's Halloween. Trick or treat, motherfucker. All right, so what am I going to do on my first night here? Well, we're going to do the Terrifier 3. And if you didn't know, I've already done Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2 previously in the last two seasons of Soundfest. And this year I thought it would be fitting to do Terrifier 3, which is a horror Christmas movie, believe it or not. And you're probably wondering, what's this Terrifier shit anyway? Who's this Art the Clown? Well, pretty much this movie, The Terrifier, started off with just this random serial killer dressed up as a clown, and then along the way just kept getting more evil, like more supernatural powers. In the second one, he would get even more ruthless, coming back to life and killing more people. And along the way, he picked up this weird girl by his side, the pale girl who's kind of helping him, and spawned a hero in this franchise known as Sienna Shaw, who has this like angelic powers bestowed upon her somehow, some way. Her dad was a comic book artist, and he kind of predicted this shit in his comic books. So yeah, we're going to do part 3 of Terrifier 3, which takes place right after Terrifier 2, like exactly after that. You get to see what happens to Art the Clown's body. You get to see Victoria Hayes, who was the first victim in one of the first movies. And she's now she's possessed by some kind of evil too, doing terrible things with shards of glass. And they kind of chill out in a house for a year, and then they wake up and they're going to terrify some people on Christmas. You get to see a Santa Claus get butchered. You get to see some poor mice die, and I hate to say it, you get to see some child deaths. It's in the movie. You don't actually see it, but you know it's happening. It's heartbreaking. This movie almost had no limits to it, and it even made a lot of money in the theater, making this B movie into a mainstream icon known as Art the Clown. So yeah, we got a lot of blood spills here. You get to see Sienna Shaw return to take on the duo of Victoria Hayes and Art the Clown. It's a great, great movie. It is written and directed by Damien Leone. It started off, he did a movie called The Ninth Circle, if you don't know, which had Art the Clown in it, played by a different actor, of course. And we had All Hallows Eve. Yeah. Then, of course, I mentioned Terrifier 1, which was an underground success, then Terrifier 2, which became even more successful, and it's also my favorite movie in the franchise. The budget for this movie would be $2 million. Bloody Disgusting was given, and it would earn $90 million, and that is a big fucking deal. It's Soundfest. I'm going to swear as much as I want. That is a big fucking deal for a B movie, especially in the horror side. And the merchandise that comes along with this. Look at some of these cool toys and some of these cool shirts. People make these online, backways video games about Art the Clown. He's all over the place. And he just keeps getting more and more popular. And yes, we are going to get a part 4 of Terrifier. And Damien Leone has stated, we will get to see more of the back history of Art the Clown and the entity that possesses him and all that crazy shit. So let's keep going into this. The special effects were done by Christian Tinley and Jason Baker, along with Damien Leone. And get this guy's a big deal in the horror community. Tom freaking Savini also helped out with the special effects. They did a 3D model chainsaw. They did a lot of really cool blood tubing effects with pumping the blood throughout these organs that they would make. A lot of stuff went into making this movie look as gory, and they avoided CGI as much as possible, but they did have to use it for a little bit of the stuff. Who stars in this motherfucker? Let's go over the cameos first. Former WWE and AEW World Champion Chris Jericho reprises his role from part 2. We get to see Clint Howard, the guy that played the Ice Cream Man, and also Tom Savini, like I mentioned earlier. After the events of the second movie, Santa Shaw, her mom's dead. Her brother, he survived, but he's off to college and all that stuff. So she has to live with her niece and her aunt and uncle. And the aunt and uncle is played by Bryce Johnson, who plays Greg, and Margaret Ann Florence, who plays Jess. And I mentioned her brother Jonathan earlier. Well, he's played by Elliot Fulham. And if you don't know, he's a musician, and he seems like a really cool dude. I'd like to buy him a bowl of soup one day. We have Samantha freaking Scafidi playing Victoria Hayes. And I got to tell you, girl, I got a crush on you. Me and my daughter had the honor of meeting Samantha Scafidi at the Astronomicon event there in Detroit this past year. She's awesome. She loves horror. She's a real fan. Then we have Lauren Rivera reprising her role as Sienna. Like I said, she has this like angelic power, like an angel warrior, if you will. Her dad was a comic book artist, and he kind of like drew some of this stuff. And this character that he drew about, which was a female warrior, she's kind of getting these traits of this character, and it's really cool. She has like a psychic link with the main villain, who is played by David Howard Thornton, playing Art the Clown. This is his third time playing Art the Clown, and they ended up making a molding of his face to make the makeup for Art the Clown a lot easier. Now you can see a lot of his emotion throughout his facial expression, which David Howard Thornton has fucking mastered. He is such a damn good character, and behind the scenes, like I said, I mentioned some children do get harmed in the movie fictionally. It's not real, don't worry, it's only fictionally. But he was very good with the kids on the set, which reminded me of Bill Skarsgård. He played Pennywise in the It movies. He was really cool and chill with the child actors. I know they're actors, but they're still children, and some of this shit might be traumatizing for him, but behind the scenes, he's really cool. Damien Leone, you have brought one cool fucking franchise to this horror community, and we thank you for it. And what's my favorite kill in this movie? I guess the girl who gets the chainsaw in the shower, just because she says, and I want to meet the real Miles County clown in real life. I want to see into his eyes. And Art the Clown happens to be eavesdropping, and he hears this, and he's like, bitch, I'll make that a reality for you for Christmas. That is brutal, especially what happens to her boyfriend in the shower. I ain't going to go into the detail. This movie is not for the faint of heart, but I do recommend it for people who love gore and more. And what do I rate Terrifier 3 here on Soundfest? Fuck. I've watched it a bunch of times, so I'm going to have to rate it 4 out of 5 dog dicks. That's a great fucking rating, and I can't wait for Terrifier 4 and maybe even Part 5. Who knows where this franchise goes? Hopefully they don't water it down, but with Damien Leone in charge, I don't see that happening. Take care of yourselves, feed your kids, pay your bills, ignore that negativity, and happy Halloween, motherfucker.